Hi, my name is Robert Grossman, and I am an executive coach with Black Diamond Leadership. And we focus on working with individuals, mostly in the business world, on improving their emotional intelligence. Now, the first thing I hear from many of my clients when we talk about emotional intelligence is, Robert, that's kind of woo-woo, not real stuff. And I'm here today to tell you that emotional intelligence is real. It's real and it's based in science. So we're not going to go into the physiology of the brain, but there are two parts of the brain. There's the limbic system, which contains the amygdala, which is our emotional brain. And then there's the frontal cortex, neocortex, of the rational part of our brain. And all emotional intelligence is recognizing that our emotions drive our behavior. They impact the way that we interact with other people. And if we can engage our rational brain in emotional situations, then we can improve our emotional intelligence. Now, there's a very simple model that I call the response chain that you can use to help improve your emotional intelligence. And it starts with what I call a key moment. And a key moment is nothing more than a triggering event that demands a response of some sort. So a key moment occurs, and we experience it through our point of view, how we see the world. And how we see the world is made up of our upbringing and our religion and our background and a whole host of things. So you and I might see the same situation differently because of our points of view. But when we have a key moment, we experience it because of our point of view and we give it meaning. And the meaning is how we try to make sense of it. It's the spin we put on it. It's the way that our brains think about what's happening. And based on the meaning we give it, we have feelings about it, which will be everything from emotional feelings and physiological feelings. And then based on our feelings, we have behavior. And how we behave following a key moment will really determine if we're going down the pathway of self-mastery, which is growth, or survival, which is protecting ourselves. Now, if you're going down the pathway of survival, you are defending yourself. You want your point of view to be the right point of view, and you will defend that point of view and make other people wrong. You will not assume responsibility for what's going on. If you go down the pathway of self-mastery, you're recognizing multiple options to dealing with a stressful situation or a key moment. You're looking at where you're responsible for how you're responding to that situation. Now, the last part of this response chain model is what I call the moment of choice. And the moment of choice is nothing more than when you have the awareness that you're having a key moment, that you literally and figuratively hit the pause button and take a breath and start to look at distortions of logic that you might be applying to the situation. So I'm going to give you a quick example of how I used emotional intelligence a while ago in a whole different field when I ran a meeting production company, and somebody on the hotel staff challenged the way the room looked based on how we set it up. And that was a triggering event. I got really mad about it. In fact, I almost yelled at this person, but I managed my emotions. When I realized that this person was doing nothing more than trying to help me make everything in the room look great, it changed the way that I viewed the situation. So I literally got up from my chair and I walked over to this person and I thrust out my hand and I said, "Hi, my name is Robert Grossman and I'm the executive producer of this event. And I want to thank you for pointing out that the drape didn't look the way that it should look." And he looked at me with eyes wide open. And I said, "I bet you and I have the same exact goals. We want our mutual client to be highly successful, right?" And he said, "Yeah, right." So I said, "Great. My guys fixed that situation. Will you come back over and take a look at it?" And he looked at me again with these big wide eyes. "Yes, of course." So we looked at it and it was perfect. And he said, "Robert, thank you very much for fixing this." It wasn't 5 minutes later when he came back out to me with a clipboard and started asking me about the flow of the event and how things were working. See, when I didn't yell at him, when I managed my emotional response to the situation, he and I became partners. And that was probably the most successful event that I ever had. In fact, one of the results from that event was a big company that was attending that event hired me to produce their meeting the following month. So That is emotional intelligence in action, where I had a very challenging event. So think about this for yourselves. Something happens and you have a triggering event. What do? The first thing you want to do is recognize that you're having this triggering event, and in your mind, hit that pause button and just take a breath, give it a beat, right? Look to see if there's a distortion of logic that you're using that's causing you to feel emotional about this. And then look at engaging your rational brain. Once you identify the distortion of logic, then you can engage with rational brain and you'll see things more clearly. Look to see where you're responsible for what's going on, or where you can assume responsibility, and look to gain consensus if it's involving another person. I wish you the best of success with this. As somebody in the healthcare industry, managing your emotional intelligence in key moments will allow you to provide even a higher level of patient care or working with your colleagues to produce a better outcome for all. Thank you very much.